Oh, okay. There we are. There we are.
There we are. You solved it.
Killing me.
Say the line, Shay.
What? Okay, so hi. This is the. Oh, sorry. And we're live. Welcome, boys and girls. This is our second attempt this evening, and of course, last week. Don't ask. We're moving into the world of streaming that is unknown territory to all three of us, and so hopefully this will work this time. Dave, stop breaking stuff, and we'll be fine. So this is episode 192, part 2, attempt 2, stage 2, and it's all Dave's fault. Somehow, magically, Dave's internet connection routed us all through Florida, and it broke. So,
so that when you said my connection routed us through Florida, you meant seriously, literally.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. No,
it was all your fault, Dave.
No, there was no. Totally Dave's fault. Had nothing to do with.
I want that half hour back, Dave.
Yeah, because we talked a lot during that half hour, and
what we were talking about.
It was gold.
The pearls of wisdom about beer was.
Guys, let's drink a beer. What are we drinking?
Is that why we're here? This beer we chose several weeks ago, and we only got around to drinking it last week. And luckily for us, it comes in 4-packs, so we can drink it again today. This is the category 12 Juicy Data, although we had that discussion last week, Hazy IPA, which we were wondering actually if it's data or data. And last week I think it's data. You think it's data? Because I brought up the whole Star Trek TNG second season of Dr. Pulaski, and she called data. It took her some time to get used to that. So I am going to drink this beer, and I'm going to forever call data.
All right, I'm doing my pour here.
I've got the pour going. It's looking pretty good. And so let's revitalize our commentary.
I do want to point out that this was a viewer request from Dave McCann about a year ago. Really? Specifically, he wanted Dave to try this beer because he wanted Dave to try a juicy IPA as opposed to a really, really, really bitter IPA. Right. So that is why we're doing this one. We couldn't get it last year when he had suggested it, but it was so popular that Category 12 has now made this a part of their regular lineup, so you can get it all the time now. So that is the Juicy Data Hazy IPA, not to be confused with some of their other Data beers, which include their compressed Data, which is a juicy pale ale, I believe.
So so this juicy pale ale is effervescent. What did I say? Did I say pale ale?
Yes, you did.
I'm up. Can't do it. I'm up. See you guys later.
All right. Shane's out. So this thing comes in with an IBU rating of 35 and a hefty alcohol by volume of 6.1%. And it comes in 4-packs of cans like this. And I think they've changed their label recently because, Dave, I think you've got the new one. Can you hold it up? Hold it up a little bit higher.
I think it's the same thing, man.
See, your Juicy Data thing looks different. It's stylized.
Oh, wow. It totally is. Because I have the can that Alan has.
Yeah.
I've got this logo. Right. Okay, what is...
Yeah.
So yours is kind of scripted and everything.
I got the cool writing.
Very bizarre. Who knew?
I like it.
It's nice. I really like the packaging on it. It draws my attention. All right, let's dive into this thing. Smells juicy. It smells really good.
It does smell good.
Mm. Oh yeah,
I'm like
that gets me. It gets me right here.
It makes you pleased. It gets you going, jazzed, as it were.
Oh my God, yes. It's like having a grapefruit juice on a Sunday morning at brunch. Although it's not grapefruit juice, it's beer, and it gets you loaded.
That might be true. I would have to support that plan whatsoever. Dave, have you ever had beer at breakfast time?
Can't say that I have. No.
I could have answered that for you.
I was hoping for just a moment that Dave did actually. Because here's the thing. I remember not wanting to drink beer in the morning during breakfast for the longest time because I felt it was just such an alien thing to do. It wasn't the natural order of things. However, I grew a pair, and actually, you know who actually got me drinking beer at breakfast was Locke, our esteemed colleague, who
that shocks me. Not.
Yeah, it doesn't shock you at all. Well, because we went for brunch. I think this is many years ago. This is before the podcast ever started, and we went to a local eatery here in Gastown called the Alibi Room, and we walked in, and Locke was like, can I have the beer menu, please? And they were like, yeah, here you go. And I was like, beer? It's only like 11:30. What? Oh, okay, maybe I'll try it. So I was lukewarm, but then they had on the beer list a beer called Wrath of Khan 2. And I could not leave the restaurant without having had a Wrath of Khan 2. It was an IPA. It was brilliant. I loved it. I really wish that I've actually tried to find it again. And I took a photograph of the menu so that I always remember what the actual brewery would be. And I'm going to go and look for it right now because I know what it is. Pardon me.
While Shane is doing that, Dave, have you tried the beer yet?
Multiple times.
Tell me, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are quite pleasant. Thank you.
Okay. About the beer. Can you give us a little bit more?
I actually do not mind this. I'm not sure I like it as much as Dave was hoping.
Okay.
But I can see, having had a shit ton of beers, well, for me, a shit ton of beers, I get where the juicy is coming from, and I like it.
Good.
That part I really like. Yeah.
By the way, just really quickly, the beer, before I forget, it was a Wrath of Khan 2 Belgian-style double IPA by Midnight Sun Brewing Co., who are located in Alaska. So I'm assuming in Anchorage, maybe not, but it was amazing. It was amazing.
What, no love for Juno?
No love. Well, have you been to Juno?
No, never. Dave, continue with your assessment of the beer.
As usual, it's still a little more bitter than I would like, even though, I guess truly for an IPA, it's pretty low, isn't it?
Well, it's not that it's low. It's just that because of the juiciness, just the hops that they use, it just doesn't have the bite of some other IPAs. But yes, an IBU rating of 35 for an IPA is relatively low. But I've seen lower, so
yeah.
Go ship IPA, hazy IPA. I'm looking at you with your IBU rating of 8.5.
And you were not a fan.
No, I was not. It was like drinking water. What it was like. But anyway, you can see that a few episodes ago. We're talking about this one. Shane, I heard your thoughts last week, but nobody else did, so let's hear them again.
This beer, it is like drinking a grapefruit, but the grapefruit has been tempered by the loving embrace of a hop that adds a different style of citrus, mainly named beer. So, is there a hop named beer? I don't know, but there should be. but there you go. Last week, I think I probably waxed a bit more poetic about it. But I will point out that there were several times over this past 7 days since the last time we tried to do the show where I wanted to drink it. I would see it in the fridge, and I would sit there looking at it going, I could find more, right? But it's a limited edition beer right now. It's not a regular thing. It's a thing. Like I really should just let it sit and chill.
You can get it all year round now.
Really? Oh, good. Because on the BC Liquor website, it says that it's a limited edition until August 10th or some ridiculous date or whatever it was. But
according to the Category 12 website, it is. Where does it say that here?
It is made from the heaven. I don't know what I'm about to say or was trying to say, but apparently you squeeze angels through a grater and it makes this beer.
Okay, so they have
I don't know where that came from, but there you go.
Category 12 has on their website their beers in different sections. So there's widely available seasonals, year-rounders, and hard-to-find seasonals. Their Juicy Data Hazy IPA is under the year-rounders thing, which means you can get it all the time. Incidentally, same deal with their Wild IPA, which is awesome. Their Disruption, which
we've
one
done the Disruption. Yeah, we did that one a while back. We've done the Disruption before, yeah.
We've done the Wild IPA too, and the Critical Point, which we have not done, which is their Northwest Pale Ale.
Which we have, no, you're right. Well, hey, we can put them on the list and space them out over the next 500 years and drink them slowly and enjoy each and every drop.
Indeed.
In local beer news, my sister wants to go to Beer Fest, which is kind of a cool thing. So if my sister goes and Dave doesn't, my sister's going to join the show and Dave's out. All right. But Alan, you had some.
I was going to say the Crafty Boys could maybe use an influx of some estrogen.
That is true. Dave, can you get on that?
Okay.
Dave, we want you to start taking estrogen supplements, and it's for the show, Dave.
Homer, you shouldn't drink other people's or eat other people's medication. What if I need estrogen? That was the worst Homer and Marge Simpson imitation ever on this planet.
Yes. In fact, your Marge sounded more like Homer than your Homer did. But whatever.
Yeah, it's sad. But so you were going to comment about the cup you're holding up right there. Tell us all about it.
Okay, so we talked about this last week that nobody heard. I attended Hypoxia, which was now not this past weekend, but the weekend before, in the Phillips backyard in Victoria. It featured about, I want to say, about 30 breweries, each with one or two hoppy beers from their arsenal. There wasn't really anything new that was there. There was a lot of their regular stuff. But it was a really good time. It was $20 to get in. You got three drink tickets with it. Drink tickets after that were $2 each. And you have access to the beers. a live band. They had games playing, like those beanbag toss games, and a whole lot of people watching. A whole probably about 1,000 people crammed in a small area in the Phillips backyard, which was pretty cool. It was a neat experience. It was better than the first time I went, which was 3 years ago. So the next time it comes up, which will be about a year from now, I highly recommend that, especially if you're into hoppy beers, to take advantage of it.
Now, I have a question. What was the beer event in Victoria recently that had a problem with people getting in and getting out? Was that the one you went to?
Yeah, so Hypoxia, there's only one entrance in and out. At the Phillips sort of back. They call it their backyard. I don't know how to describe it. It's like an exterior yard thing.
Exterior yard thing.
Yeah.
It's literally their backyard. If I know what you're talking about, Alan.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
In the middle, in the heart of downtown. Anyway, so one entrance in, and there was like a huge lineup of people to get in. So it started at 3 and went until 6. So it's only a 3-hour event. They were still letting people in from the line at 3:45. So at this point, the event is almost 1/3 of the way done, and they're still letting people in. That's a bit of a problem. I think they need to overcome that.
I would say so, because that is kind of a weird thing. You'd have an event that only had one entrance and exit. Were there fire exits and things like that? Like other ways to escape should the backyard ignite or something?
Well, considering it was all concrete, I would say it's not going to ignite.
But how do you know? Maybe you'll sink into the
hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Hold on. Ah! I was curious because I've driven by their facility, but I've never actually been inside of it. And I'm just looking at it right now, and I guess you could escape via the street.
Probably if you tried hard enough, you could. Now, where the band was playing, it actually backed onto this gymnastics place. So you could have, I suppose, if you wanted to, hop onto the stage through this gymnastics place and out the other way.
I guess you could. I just was worried that you might die in a ball of flame.
There's always that possibility. I mean, today is young.
Keeps things exciting.
Yes.
Today is young.
Philip does host a lot of events in their backyard. One of them that's coming up is on July the 20th. They do this thing called Movie Under the Maltworks, where they actually show a movie on a projector outside. It's $20 to get in. You get to watch the movie. You get a beer, and you usually get something else with it too.
I would hope so for $20. Oh my God,
$20. But I mean, think of the ambiance, right? You're at Phillips, having beer, drinking, watching a movie with a whole bunch of other people. Anyway, I don't know if this has been announced officially yet, but I heard that on July 20th, the movie Under the Maltworks is going to be Star Wars Episode 4.
Sweet.
When is this?
Sweet. July 20th, which is a Saturday, in the evening, in the Phillips backyard. $20. You bring a chair, you set it up, you get a beer, and something else to go with it.
Popcorn.
They don't say what. They don't say what.
Shredded.
I think they said like a special surprise. If it's a severed head, I'll be very upset.
Chilled monkey brains.
Your very own lightsaber
I had bugs for lunch.
kit, because you do have to put it together yourself.
Right.
They just hand you a barbecue.
$100 is a lot of money, considering I have Star Wars Episode 4 here, and not just any Star Wars Episode 4. I have the original theatrical release, which nobody can find anymore. I have that here. I could watch it here and drink a beer while I'm doing it, but it's not going to be in the Phillips backyard, right? So, I mean,
that's true. I mean, you could just is it on Laserdisc?
I have it on Laserdisc, and I also downloaded a copy from. I shouldn't say that on a stream.
Yeah, from alternative.
Library of Congress.
Legally downloaded a copy.
Right. Yes. Legally.
And it is one. But I do own the
George
original.
Lucas showed up at your home and handed you a 35mm print and said, "This is yours." This is
what George Lucas would do. This is what George Lucas would do. He'd either tell me to cease and desist, or he'd make me take all of his lame Jar Jar Binks merchandise, take it off his hands, and say, "You figure out what to do with it."
Hey, by the way, I just got to say, George, that I'm going to be hosting at the holidays this year. I'm going to be hosting a Christmas special, the Star Wars one. Remember that? I could just see him suddenly turning into Hannibal Lecter and eating your face off or something. That will never see the light of day. Oh, sorry, the internet works.
Yeah.
Dave's just like, I remember the trauma of watching B. Arthur sing and dance in a bar on a foreign world.
I have to admit, it's pretty bad. I mean, I think he has the right to hide it.
I have no arguments with that because, I mean, what did a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, even Princess Leia was apparently high on coke while doing that because she didn't really want to be involved, so she got as stoned as possible to get through it. You heard that? I seem to recall she actually told this story publicly, or she had told this story publicly somewhere. That she
really surprised me, but still, wow.
Life Day, everyone loves everyone on Life Day, or whatever the hell this song was. But there you go. That's how bad it was.
God.
It's like our childhoods were ruined in one 90-minute set of video.
The thing is that we would have been like 5 and 6. We were 5, 6, somewhere around there when that thing came out, and we would have probably just ate it up. You know, we would have been like, "Yeah, this is awesome!
Look, it's like the guys in the movie.
It's got Luke Skywalker!" Ah!
I think for me, I was more when back when I was a young child. I think I was more interested in the robots than the humans. I didn't really care much for what was going on. Yeah, I mean, C-3PO was the bomb. R2-D2 was even cooler. I really wished IG-88 had been given more screen time in Empire. But,
I mean, more than like 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And however, he is apparently, isn't he in the new TV show that's coming out this fall?
I don't know.
Some droid that looks like him, or whatever his manufacturing droid model is. Yeah, I think that would be.
The robots were the most important thing in the movie for the kids. Like, my first action figure I had was, and I remember this, was C-3PO. My second one was R2-D2.
My very first action figure was Snagglepuss, which is what I call him. I can't remember if that's actually his real name. Is that?
I think it's his name.
Yeah.
Tooth, I think it was.
Or Snaggletooth.
Oh,
right?
Snaggletooth, yes. Snaggletooth.
Snaggletooth is a small character. Guy. He's a bounty hunter. And apparently he's in Empire somewhere. I don't remember seeing him. I'm searching my brain right now, and I don't recall. But again, he might have been in like one of the other films. He might have been in the first He's probably in the Cantina sequence.
Yes, he is.
But I don't recall why he got a backstory. Probably because, marketing toys. What is that noise? What is that?
Oh, that was my beer glass.
It's empty. It's signaling.
I'm just kind of twirling it around.
Speaking of Star Wars, so which snaggletooth do you have? Is it the little one or the big one?
He's a little guy, but
Wearing red?
He's not big. Purple, I think.
Oh, purple?
It looks purple to me, but maybe it's more of a red. Actually, no.
They made two different snaggletooths.
Really?
Yes, they did. They made one and then they changed it, and they made him shorter. Or the other way around.
It might be more of a maroon color. I think. But
well, after we're done with the stream, we'll look it up and we'll.
I want to go full nerd now. But let's talk about nothing more and end the show. Hopefully everything worked, which it probably has, of course, somewhere. But thank you all for coming by. I certainly hope we entertained you or made you fall asleep because there's this thing called ASMR I hear out on the internet as being a big deal. So if you need to use us to fall asleep to, we're good. We're good with that. So, if you just want to lay back now. Actually, that got really creepy and dark very fast. So, Alan, as always, actually, before you do that, make sure to spread the word about our show. Do the things with the stuff and this other stuff. And as always, Alan, take us out.